Okay, so this is actually number 28, and we're going to find the value of the linear correlation coefficient R and describe the correlation using words. Two parts. Okay, super simple. First, with this paired data below, see what it is. Consists of cost of advertising in thousands of dollars and the number of products sold in thousands. So the cost 9 represents $9,000 and yielding a 85,000 products sold. Okay, that's what it's, and then the 2 is paired with the 52, 3 is paired with 55. Notice this 2 repeats from that 2, but they're separate occasions, right? This 2 actually pairs with 67. Yada, yada, yada. So first thing to do is to add each variable into a list. So the cost variable, I want to put in L1, and the number variable, I'm going to put in L2. Okay? So basically what I'm going to get, if I were to graph this on the calculator, I am going to end up getting my cost, which is L1, and then remember this is in thousands of dollars. Thousands. And then L2 is going to be my number. L2, and this is in thousands sold, right? So this is my graph that if I chose to graph it on my calculator, this is what it would produce, where cost is the X explanatory and number is the result variable. Okay, so put these into lists, and after they're in lists, it's actually pretty simple. All right, we're going to calculate the linear correlation coefficient by putting them in the list first, and then pressing the stat button. Go over to tests, and then go all the way down, not all the way down, but pretty far down, to lin reg t test. F in my calculator, lin reg t test. Make sure that your X list is L1. My Y list is going to be L2. Actually, it's not going to change my answer, but still. Frequency of 1, beta and phi not equal to 0. Okay, not equal to 0. And then this reg EQ, I didn't get into that in the class because the power went out, but that's the regression equation. It's asking you if you want to store it in your calculator. Okay, I always store it. Usually it's blank, but I would strongly suggest typing in Y1, which is really easy to find. I'll delete it, and what you have to do to get Y1, you press vars button, and then you go over to YVars menu, and then you click number 1, which is functions or function, and then number 1, which is Y sub 1. After you follow that trail, you should see the Y1 appear in the reg equation. What that's going to do is going to take your regression equation and paste it into your Y equals menu, your function menu. Anyway, hit calculate, and what that does is out pops a bunch of stuff. I'm only looking for R, so I want correlation coefficient. I'm going to scroll down, and I get 0.708. Okay, and describe the correlation using words. Well, in order to describe the correlation using words, you really need to write the regression equation. Okay, and in the midst of all the stuff that you're given here, you can decipher the equation, but I rather just take it from Y1. Since we stored it, now all you have to do is press the y equals button. Press the y equals button. All right. And then under y1, the first thing you appear should be your regression equation, which in my case it's 55.788 blah blah blah. So I'm going to put 79 around it. I'm just going to scroll to the right, and then it's plus 2.788, so 79 blah 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 x. Okay, that's what my y1 equation is. Okay, but let's take that in context. Y1 is the number. Okay, so the number sold in thousands is equal to 55.79 plus 2.79 times the cost in thousands of whatever it costs the product. Okay, so what that means, okay, what the correlation, describe the correlation in words. It basically says, okay, there's a relatively strong correlation, 0.708, and for every $2.79 thousand dollars, every $1,000 of cost, you're hypothetically, according to this regression equation, gaining 2.79 thousand units sold. Every time it costs, the additional cost of 1,000, every time this goes up 1, the number sold goes up 2.79. So that's where this comes in helpful, storing the regression equation here. And that's why I would recommend it. So you don't have to decipher A and B in the list of information that you're given once you run the LinReg t-test.